Okay, so one thing that is being added to the game in the next update, presumably, it could be a little bit later, but presumably in the next update, is another battle pass. So they already have one technically in the game, but that one isn't. It's just a way for everybody to get more CC, right? Even if you're a free player, you can still get their free rewards, which is typically how battle passes work, especially like in Bandai games. I've noticed that they are very, very standard with the way that they handle battle passes overall. Now, this is another one, and there are very few games that I personally play or have played that have numerous. One of them that comes to mind would be One Piece Bounty Rush. They have like, I think, 3 different types of subscription services. Not exactly battle passes, but subscription services. I guess you could call this more of that. It just depends on how much you value these rewards. And like another one would be like Marvel Strike Force. They have a couple of them as well. So that it's not very, very common in particular, but I can tell you that in each iteration of this that I've seen and been a part of the communities for, the communities did not like this whatsoever. And the thing is, I think the idea with this has to be that like free stuff is free stuff. You know, it's cool if it's free in any way, if you have any access to it whatsoever. And I think for a lot of people, like the regular battle passes are just kind of grew on, right? A lot of people were really critical of the initial battle passes and stuff like that, whatever they're called. I forget what they're called. Whenever they came out with, I believe, UI Goku and Jiren. But I think that was a pretty good update, all in all. Like, even if you can't get the free or the paid service of that, it's still a good update overall. Now, I'm really curious about what this is going to be. So, as you see here, we have perk number 1, which we know nothing about, updates daily, prime ticket printing robot. So, that's going to be printing some other sorts of tickets. We already have a couple of helper robots in the game, the Assistobots. So it looks like we're getting another one that's exclusive to the Legends Pass here. So we'll keep that in mind. Prime ticket printing, I don't know what that is. Amazon Prime? No, probably not. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, equipment slots plus 4 freaking hundred. Plus 400 slots if you get this subscription service. So wait, hold on. What happens when it, okay, never mind. I know. I was like, wait a minute. What happens if you just like don't re-up with your subscription? And like, you know, it's like, oh, it's going to happen is you have to delete freaking 400 equipments if you don't actually renew the subscription. Goodness, that is a lot. That's basically the normal cap right now. Like I think it's closer to like 450 or 500 by now if you get like every exchange possible ever anywhere. But still, like, that's ridiculous. That's a massive amount that a lot of players need, because this game's always throwing 1 or 2 equips every freaking week, and it's really hard to keep up with that, especially if you care about that, and especially like all the again, the awakened equips and stuff. So they're adding 5 more preset slots. For the record, I don't really personally value those at pretty much anything. So far, I don't know what the Perk 1 is valued at. I don't know what that is, but I do value Perk 2 a lot, because again, a lot of people looking for more equipment slots. That's the main thing I've seen here that's really good. I don't value the preset slots that much, because I mean, really, if you want to, you can have multiple preset slots, but I don't value them that much because I don't use them that much. Like, I'll sometimes save a team there that I have like a random idea for a video, and honestly, half the time I go back and get it, the other half I just forget it existed. So like, I don't really value that much, but some people probably use that feature very often. So Perk 4 is faster auto mode. They added another auto mode, or excuse me, a speed slider to the auto mode in PvE content. So what that's going to do is obviously it's going to allow for the game to move quicker, so you're going to be able to grind through PvE content faster. Most notable content for that would be, I guess, those 50 stage events. You get through those just a little bit quicker. And then on top of that, though, if you're playing the Ultra Space Time Rush or whatever it's called now event, and you have to obviously play through all those stages, it'll take a while otherwise. So this is something that I think is really interesting, being added 3 years into the lifespan of this game. This in and of itself, perk number 4, is something I've seen in other games where they add the faster or ×2 speed auto as part of the battle pass, and people always hate that. It's really interesting to see it added 3 years into the lifespan of the game. Obviously, free players that are not going to get this fast are going to hate that that's exclusive to probably paying players. Again, I'm thinking, unlike the other Legends Pass, if it wasn't clear, I'm thinking this is completely and 100% only premium exclusive for like purchase. It's a subscription. Like, I don't think this is going to have any merit whatsoever on a non-paying player. So we'll talk about what the potential price point will be for this. But I don't think, unlike the current one, you know, the battle pass that we have currently, you get to choose how much you want to play, etc., which tier you want to do. I don't think this will have any merit whatsoever on a non-paying player. I just don't. It probably is going to be completely exclusive to paying players as a subscription service. That's a little different. You know, this is a once per month thing as opposed to the other ones like once every 2 weeks. Anyways, so yeah, basically, long story short, it's weird seeing it added basically 3 years into the lifespan of this game. So perk number 5 is a login bonus selection +1. So you may know, but whenever you do log into the game, they show you all those items like the Zenny, the 10cc. There's a bunch of other things there too, like training items, blah, blah. A lot of you guys probably just pick up the 10cc, whatever it is, right? You get to pick an extra item there now. So you get to pick up 2. So there are times where like they don't really update that selection very often. I remember once upon a time they would add, like, if you pull the new EX character on banners, they would put their Z power there. They're things like that. They haven't done that like over a year, but every now and again you can get to pick multiple from there, basically like via like a Bulma event or whatever. So you can pick like 3 items from that screen. I'm guessing at max now with this subscription you'd be able to pick up 4, but otherwise on a normal rotation of that on a login day you'd be getting 2 items. Perk 6 is 2 adventure slots. So the funny thing about this is adventure slots. Let me just take you guys down a trip of memory lane. Adventure slots were a huge topic around like year 1.5, closer to year 2, right? What they wound up doing was they wound up making them a lot more kind of, I guess, premium with the inclusion of the extra slots, especially those last couple that require Z medals. Now, I believe there are a lot more players that, especially like have been playing for 2-3 years, that have access to Z medals in some fashion, whether it's like through free characters they pull every so often. You have access, a lot of them, to some, right? Not as many as a paying player, but some, I'd imagine. Adding 2 more slots is just going to be making this even more of an incentive. The thing is with this, with the perk number 6, with perk number 4, these are perks that are going to give you a leg up on the rest of the competition in terms of clearing PvE content and events and milestones and stuff like that, and getting your free in-game rewards. So here's the deal. I'm starting to see the value in this. Like, I don't really see much value in perk 5, to be honest. It's kind of whatever, because the rewards aren't that great. Perk 3 is kind of whatever. I don't know what's happening with perk 1. I need to see what that is. But perk 2 is very valuable in my opinion. Perk 4, I mean, you could take it or leave it. It's just depending on how impatient you are with perk 4 and 6, really. But that's where the premium service part comes in, right? So really, I mean, it's starting to look like, you know, if you have the ability to support this pass, you probably should. But again, I want to keep a key focus on what this means for free players, and the simple answer is nothing. It's probably, like I said, I'm probably right. It's probably going to have literally nothing to do for anybody that's not going to dip into this subscription service. You don't have to. And you're not going to be missing a ton, really, it seems, except for the equipment slots. That's the main thing you're really going to be missing. I mean, there's obviously more rewards here with perk 1 and 5, and there's some, you know, quality of life features that could easily just be implemented in the game, but they clearly save for this. But, I mean, you'll still have your normal gameplay experience otherwise. So don't feel obligated to dip into this. But really, adding those adventure slots to me is like, okay, well, they're making it a point now to say, okay, well, we know people want these things like equipment slots and adventure slots. Those are 2 of the main things people want. And 400 slots is hilarious. I'm still on that. So they're making it a point to say, okay, we'll see this. And one thing I like to do is I try to really talk about this from multiple perspectives, because there are creators that I think that my opinion on this is maybe a little bit more valuable as I've seen and experienced these things. And this is not really a knock at anybody else. But I think my opinion on it can be a little bit more valuable because I have played so many freaking gacha games, right? Some of you guys have been around on the channel. Some of you guys have seen my other channels or whatever the case is. I've played so many of these games and I've experienced these, and just specifically like Bandai and the way they do business in different games and stuff. I've seen this, right? So I know kind of what they're doing. So last thing I want to kind of talk about is the price point for this, right? This is either going to be a $10 pass or a $15 pass. The reason I say that is I think since it's a monthly service, you have to equate for that. And really, if you re-up on the current battle pass, that one is typically what, an $8 pass. If you re-up on that twice a month, basically, you're paying about $16 for that in my currency. I don't know what your currency is where you live. But with USD, it's about $16. And again, twice a month or so. It might be. I believe it's 14 days, right? It might be 20 days, but it might be 14 days. Either way, it's too early for me to think about this. Still twice a month on average. Okay, so factoring in the fact this is a monthly pass, I really need to know what perk number 1 is. That's really where this is really difficult for me. I just don't get it. Maybe there's a news announcement in game, but do you value this at $10? Right, it depends on how you value your $10. $10 isn't the same for everybody else. For me personally, I'm going to be completely honest. I think just having the equipment slots is more than enough for me personally to want to pick this up. Just to be completely blunt with you, because I'm so sick of needing to sell equipment, right? And they've previously sold, I don't know what the number is, but they've previously sold equipment slots for like $8 or whatever, comboed with CC for the record. But whatever the reward is, like with that, I'm like, yeah, this is perfect for me. And getting 2 more adventure slots is also going to be pretty good. I don't really think you don't need those, right? You don't really need those. But I mean, if you clear through the PvE content faster, then that's fine by me. And perk 4, again, the space-time rush or the 50 stage events, those are the main things, the main culprits, right? You clear through those quicker, fine, right? That's pretty much it. 10 to 15 is, I think, the price point here. If it goes any higher than that, like $20, then it starts being more, I don't know about this, but I think at 10 it's going to be an auto buy for a lot of people. At 15 it's going to be a kind of tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. At 20 it's kind of like, I don't know, and beyond that it's just like, what the hell's going on here? But really, I mean, like I said, they've sold previously a few equipment slots for a lot of money. 400 seems it's such a massive number. Like, it's just like, this is like literally double pretty much what was available to most players. So anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna listen to what Toshi has to finish off with here. I should have probably done that, but I had a lot to kind of say.
Such as increased equipment slots, faster auto mode.
Let me go ahead and rewind him.
Bonus choices. The Legends Pass is a new service which will contain all sorts of amazing perks, such as increased equipment slots, faster auto mode, increased login bonus choices, and more. It's coming to the game in the near future, so we hope you look forward to it. And finally, last new bit of information.
Okay, well,
today.
that's pretty much it.
Take a look at this video.
This is just going to be a trailer for the new freeze up. That's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the upcoming Battle Pass or Legends Pass, whatever, down below in the comment section. And I'll be seeing all of you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.